Hello, I'm Jack, and I'm here to tell you about two trips to Denmark and Copenhagen 34 years apart. So the first one was in June 1990, went off with Simon, going to go on a cycling holiday. We drove to the bottom of Denmark, we're going to cycle all the way up, at least we were until I got a puncture. The countryside was gobsmackingly beautiful, and cycle past wherever you went. We hardly went on the road, which was really excellent. We came across some kind of beautiful castles and what have you, but my abiding memory is of the villages with everybody having window boxes with beautiful carnations and what have you. It's a great cycle, got to Copenhagen one day. First thing you do, you go on a boat tour. Copenhagen also full of beautiful girls, so made for a very nice day. And these are famous shots of Copenhagen. And then we moved on also to the Tivoli, the first amusement park, and that was quite something. Going home, hit the coast, you could see a windmill, which was quite a worrying sign. Why on earth have they got that there? And the closer we got to the coast, the windier it got. And what we hadn't worked out was there was going to be a howling gale all the way back, and we had 100 miles to do in 2 days. You can see from the flags quite how windy it was. Anyway, got back to our car. Nowhere to stay, so drove through the night to Amsterdam, had a day in Amsterdam, very good trip, 34 years ago. And now it's time to revisit Copenhagen, and went off there with Ian and Gordon and had quite something. Drove them to the airport, Bristol airport. Ian and Gordon, no Nigel, we've lost Nigel, and it's a big loss for us as a group of friends. He wasn't forgotten, we thought about him a lot. We got there in the afternoon and we stayed in this really nice modern Airbnb. It was close to the water, so it was decided that we would walk to the trendy kind of hippie area, not go by boat, but walk. It was a beautiful day. I don't think they have that many beautiful days in Copenhagen, so all the locals were out sunbathing and what have you. And we set off past old and new. This is the Opera House here. We had to go around lots and lots of water inlets and what have you. And the whole city had a really nice vibe to it. As we got to the Racken there, you can see the containers. This lad up the top here, we met the parents, very nice. And then we thought about a boat home.
Here we go. Woo! Great gig!
Idiots, but no, we didn't take the boat. We actually got a taxi, got back, pizza and wine, went to bed. Next day, cycle tour, a great way to see a city. So got the bus into town using the underground as well. Everything was clean and modern and worked. And how's this for a really groovy map? I think that's quite something. Got to the Opera House, right next door was the bikes, and it was a typical bike tour, 2 or 3 hours. Here's an art gallery here, here's nice old buildings. It was a really great way to see the place. This is the favourite building that everybody loves, though I like the building that's directly across, and there's that juxtaposition of old and new, which was really special about Denmark. Yes, it's got lots of fine old buildings like most capital cities has, but it's obviously a kind of prosperous, design-led city as well. So the new stuff is just as good as the old stuff. This is the market. We love the market, mainly because it's full of food and drink, which is all the things we needed, and a typical kind of market shop for you. Then onto kind of more palaces. And these beautiful cottages are where the sailors live, because there's always wars between Denmark and Sweden. This is an old power station, and there's the Little Mermaid, probably the most famous thing in Copenhagen. This is a Celtic goddess with her children turned into water buffaloes. I mean, you'd mess with her. And yet another king. All the kings only had 2 names, which is very strange. And this is the kind of the square where they all lived, with a church right at the end of it for them.
Gordon, explain the ice creams we just had.
Well, I've not been to the loo for, you know what I mean, yet. So I thought a licorice one would be in order.
Kind of lubricate thing.
Yeah, and you had one and you didn't like it.
Yeah, but I went straight to the loo and had...
But,
yes.
yeah, and what did you have? You didn't like yours
I had
either.
a poo in the loo.
Buckthorn or something. Buckthorn awfulness.
Yeah, it hasn't changed much from my first visit. Bikes and bikes everywhere, but we were tired now. We could have gone back by boat, but No, we went and had smorgasbord, and we wanted to eat typical Danish food. This was supposed to be just a short stop, just an hour or so. But we had a few beers and we had a long, serious conversation. One of those conversations that you need to have every now and then. So that was, I think that was well done. And then a fish supper. Yes, who doesn't like a fish supper? Sweden the next day. That's very exciting. Never been to Sweden. Caught the bus to the railway station, and then of course when you get onto the train, there's a very famous bridge over to Malmö.
This is the bridge all the way from Denmark to Sweden. And how excited are you two boys?
Very excited.
Didn't look very promising at first, like a port with a lighthouse and a few icebreakers and what have you. I was supposed to be in charge, but I didn't have a clue what to do.
Here we are in Malmö. You might not think it's too exciting, but look at this! Look, it gets better and better. This is the old town which I'm leading my men towards. And here's the university. And here are my men. Here are my men, waving happily.
So I think we'll head to the old town. Yes, thank you, Ian, there, being a typical student. And we got to the middle of the old town and suddenly things looked kind of far more historic. Still that juxtaposition of kind of old and new, a modern sculpture. You could see the rain was kind of starting to set its way in. So Gordon had got hold of the map by now and we were off to see this historic castle just as it started to pour with rain. Once we got out, we walked through the park because we were on a hunt. We were on a search for the best thing in Sweden. Yes, meatballs. And we went to the best restaurant to have the best meatballs with the best beer. It was absolutely fantastic. We're really kind of happy about that. The other two boys are enormous coffee snobs. So once we'd done that, we had to go for the best coffee in Sweden. And we found that as well with a bonus of the best cheesecakes. How good is that? We then kind of idled our way kind of back to the station. There's lots and lots of historic quarters in Malmö, particularly like this building with its big Dutch influence, if you ask me. Back to Copenhagen, modern buildings, went to the kind of old market, which is now a brewery, and had a few beers. Very nice. Final day, boat trip, yes, but not any old boat trip. We're not going to go on the tourist boat.
Gordon, how was your breakfast?
Delicious.
No, we're going to go on the ferry boat, which ploughs its way up and down. This is actually an electric boat. And you can see now all the modern buildings. I think they're really, really cool. Look at that.
What is this boat, Gordon?
The harbour bus.
And where are we going to take it to?
Up.
Up, we're going to go up. And this one's going down. Bye-bye.
Always the kind of best way to see a city. A bike tour and a boat tour. Here's all the modern architecture. This is the design block. We thought they'd kind of tried too hard there. Here's my favourite bit again.
What are we hoping to see?
Shimmering.
Shimmering. Oh, can you see? I can see some shimmer. Can you see some shimmer?
Oh, look at that shimmer up there. There's shimmering there. Shimmering going on.
Everybody in Copenhagen loves
They
it.
love it. It's a trapezoid.
Oh, good word.
Not a diamond.
Look there, looking great. A trapeze for you. And the bridges are quite something as well. Back now almost into like the 19th century bit, the bit that I saw 35 years ago. Hasn't changed very much in the very, very centre. You can still see the palaces and what have you in the background, but there's more and more buildings like this. And now we're going up the river, warehouses and a little factory behind there. I think this is the customs house here. Look, we're back here, and everybody was going swimming, which was really nice, really kind of cool, laid-back atmosphere. We liked Copenhagen. We also liked the King's Boat. We thought that was very cool. And this is where the Navy is based here. It was even Copenhagen Fashion Week, especially for us. And this pig here is a fine fellow. I like this modern stuff that says what they think about Dante, I think it is. And there's the railway station Ian was staying on, so we went and dumped all of our stuff there and went back to that market that we'd seen before because we were after more Danish food, and we thought this all looked very, very good. I think we had some sort of sausagey thing, but then another walk around the place. Palaces, we weren't allowed in the front, we were allowed in the kind of back. You can see the sailors' houses there and fine old buildings. Back to the kind of a famousy bit, you can't get away from that, and the boat people going down the river there, very good. I like this shot showing old and new together. Really, they've spent some money on their modern buildings, and they're just as fine as their old buildings. This is the kind of block design centre. Ian wanted to have a look at this, so we went in, had a good old look around there, and then wandered off to try and find the design museum, unfortunately shut, had a coffee, and then before you know where you are, it's time for Gordon and me to get back on the EasyJet and go home. It was my pleasure to drive Gordon through the night to get him home and back to Jenny. Okay, that's it. Thank you very much for listening. 2 trips, 34 years apart, to Copenhagen. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.